Okay guys, welcome back to the third part of the tutorial. At the minute we have our Sackbot here stuck in a piece of ice. As you can see, he's sort of stuck in there running around. Let's work on how we're going to get him out. Let's just pause everything for now. We're going to move this bit of holographic material out of the way. We're going to temporarily sort of make this ice block invisible by hitting L2. That means we can then work on the Sackbot inside. So R1 to open up his circuit board. We're then going to call out a couple of microchips. Put one over on this side and one over here. Just going to separate those so we don't get those confused. Okay. The controlinator we use normally when we're running around, we're just going to pop that onto this chip. The reason we do this is we can choose whether or not the controlinator is active, whereas you can't do that if it's plugged in on its own. We're also going to make a copy of that and just bring it over onto this chip over here. There we go. We'll close that for now. We need to know whether or not he's inside this ice block, so let's put back that bit of ice by pressing L1. We're just going to pop in a tag just on the front here. We're going to make it blue or a light blue, and we'll call it ice block, which I've already got in here. We'll make sure it's not visible in play mode as well. Now we again make that invisible by hitting L2, and we can carry on working here. Now let's put a little tag sensor on, that one, like so. We'll tell it to look for that same ice block tag. There we go. Everything there looks fine. And we'll put down one NOT gate, which we'll put up over on this side. Okay, so what we want is currently, if that tag is positive reading, the ice block is there, we want this microchip to become active. If, however, there isn't a tag there, then if we feed this through the NOT gate, this will put a positive reading through to our normal walk around Sackboy. So if we put that bit of ice back using L1, and so we now have our two different stances. If you go in and edit the controlinator in his sort of frozen state, and we can tell here that we don't want it to override the Sackbot. That means the Sackbot will just stand there stationary, although he does have that slight annoying bob. This is the controlinator we're going to use for the destruction of the ice block. I like doing that through shaking the controller. So what we want is a direction splitter. I'm just going to pop that in the middle here, and these little outputs are for your 6-axis motion controller. So we'll take the up-down one and we'll pop it in here. This gives us a reading for when it shakes up and when it shakes down. We can then put in a counter, like so, and we'll give it maybe 5 good shakes of the controller will activate our destructor. So we'll just put that on the plus and counter input increments. And we'll leave that like that just for now. Now if we come back down to our ice cube here, okay, the next thing we need to do is put a microchip onto the ice block. So we'll go back into our tools bag, down to simple logic, and grab a microchip. I'll just stick it on the front here like that. Let's just shift this bit of circuit board out of the way. So you can see everything nice and clearly. Okay, on this bit of circuit board we need to put a destroyer. And we'll tweak that so it includes rigid connections and is set to explode. We also want it to sound more like glass than just an explosion, so we'll go down to the destruction sound bites, and we'll pick the windscreen shatter, and we'll make sure that that is set to play on destruction. Now you can fiddle about with the volume or the sound modifier. Okay, so we've now got our counter here. What we can do is just wire that straight into this destroyer. That's good to go. The other thing you might want to do is include a sound. If we just whack in another counter here, pop it there, and we'll give that the count of 1. And in fact we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the 5th one it'll explode. And what we'll do is we'll just find a nice little sound, let's say the ice crack. Okay, we'll just wire that in there. In fact, tell you what, let's delete these and be lazy, and we'll just do the multiple copy, and we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we just need to tweak that to be a 2 count. That one will be a 3 count, and this one will be our 4 count. Wire those up to the same inputs. Got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so let's now just pop this piece of holographic material back in front, jump back in our little chair, unpause everything, and we'll put this into preview mode for the moment. So you see now when I shake the controller, ta-da! There's our little Sackboy. But it's not over just yet. Let's rewind so he's back in there. Turn off our preview. Jump out of our chair. Now that we've got everything working just as we want it, we need to replace what our emitter sends out. So we need to re-grab our Sackboy and his ice block, like so. And we need to go in and just pop into this emitter and choose our new Sackboy. Let's put him back exactly as he was. Okay, so let's now pop this back in front. Jump in the chair, unpause, go into preview mode. So now we can break out. And if we jump back onto the ice, we're back in our little box again. You can fiddle about adding more sounds, like sounds on creation and sounds that say he's actively on ice. But generally that's it. Hope you've all found this useful. Cheers.